Last day of school for you, Raelynn. Well, for a couple weeks anyway. About a month, I think. Like I said before, she has kind of 2 weeks of school at the beginning of the summer and then 2 weeks of school at the end of summer. And this summer is going to be kind of busy for all of us. So right now, obviously she's had school the last couple weeks, just driving her back and forth. That's not too bad. But then we're going to have vacation to Bible school at church soon. And then we're going to have a mission trip at church, although she won't be staying with us for mission trip, but she might have to kind of like drive back and forth a little bit as I take people places and things like that. We're going to have some family vacations soon. Going to, well, probably shouldn't say. You'll see where we go. Nothing too extravagant, but just kind of just fun places. And then also, I'm going to be gone for about 6 weeks of the summer. I won't be gone completely from family, although I will be gone from family about 3 or 4 weeks of that, but I will be gone from YouTube. So I'm going to try to film ahead of time, ahead of schedule, and have some things lined up for when I'm gone. But basically, I'm a pastor, and some pastors get what's called a sabbatical every so often. My church gives me 6 or 7 weeks off every 7th year of ministry. And that basically means it's time that it's not a vacation so much, although I do use a little bit of that time for vacation with my family, but it's time for planning, it's time for praying, it's time for thinking through vision and just kind of recharging for ministry. So I've been at my church now for coming up on 14 years, which means I'm getting my second sabbatical. I had my first one back in 2016. This will be my second one. And like I said, it's just good time to, as a pastor, recharge a little bit. So that's coming up really soon. I'll be taking that, and I'll spend some time in quiet solitude in like a cabin in the woods kind of thing. Actually, 2 cabins. But I'm not going to film any of that. I want it to be a sabbatical, not just from ministry, but also just from technology. I'm going to barely even use my phone except for communicating with my family. Raelynn, you ready for school? Let's hop out. So Abby or I will pick her up in about 2.5 hours. So during that time, I won't be helping with Raelynn's care so much either, just because I'll be gone a lot. Sometimes I'll be in a different state. Sometimes I'll only be half an hour away. That time really is meant for focusing on my relationship with God, focusing on my church and our direction and these kinds of things. But fortunately, Abby has finished with nursing school, so she has time to devote to Raelynn's care completely. And actually during that time, she's going to be recording some pretty extensive nursing videos for her own nursing channel with Raelynn. So showing the ins and outs of Raelynn's care from a nursing perspective. So that'll be really interesting. But I won't get a chance to edit those until after I get back from my sabbatical. So it'll be a few months until you see those kinds of things. But those will be on Abby's channel, so make sure you subscribe there. It's youtube.com/nurseabby. In fact, Abby's channel is going to be showing a lot more Raelynn in her nursing videos coming up soon. A lot of her channel up to this point has been graduating from nursing school and all the things that go into going to nursing school. But now that Abby has her nursing degree, and pretty soon here we'll be finishing her NCLEX, she'll be an official nurse at that point. I think at that point her channel is going to kind of shift to be more of what it takes to be a nurse and be Raelynn's nurse. So that'll be interesting. All that being said, lots of things changing soon, both in our family's lives and on YouTube, transitioning there. We're excited about it. Kind of a transitional time of our lives. In some ways, things are going to get busier, but in some ways, things are going to calm down. We'll have more time for family. And while we certainly haven't neglected family throughout these last couple of years, it's been hard to juggle everything. So we won't have to make quite as much concerted effort to squeeze things in, whether day trips or family vacations or things like that. It'll just be more natural in the months and years to come. So, well, that's the hope anyway, right? Looking forward to that. And actually, I'm going the wrong way. I meant to go to my church office right now. Oh, how forgetful I am sometimes. It's interesting talking through some of this right now. I just realized how much things have changed for us in the last few years. I was looking at a picture of all of our kids just from like 3 years ago, and they all look so tiny. That was just during COVID. And that's when I started this channel too. Just these last 3 years have just been So many transitions. That's crazy. Think about where you were 3 years ago, and just I wonder if any of us would imagine that we'd be where we are right now 3 years ago. And thinking through that, like, we can't imagine where we're going to be in just, a year or two. We don't know the future. We don't know how our plans will change. We don't know what's going to happen in the world. There's so many unknowns in the world, right? I'm just so grateful for what God's done in our lives these last couple years. And I'm excited to think about what God's going to do in our lives these next few years. We truly never know. Truly never know. Sometimes change is hard. Sometimes we don't want things to change. And yet sometimes the changes bring all kinds of blessings that we just wouldn't have had otherwise. And the inevitable truth is that life always brings change, right? If nothing else changes, the very fact that we grow older is a change. There's going to be changes because we grow older. Our bodies change. Personally, I'm finding that my body's falling apart sometimes. Things change. And it's okay that things change. Along with me, I hope that you'll embrace those changes, thank God for those changes, and even if possible, seek to be a blessing to others during those changes as well. All right, now I'm at church, pulling into the parking lot. I hope that you'll be blessed today. God bless you. We'll see you again next time.